My name is Karma. I want to hear from you your opinion on 3 issues.
3?
3, yes. In any order you want. First, we experience a lot of polarization these days, starting in the West. Does that mean there's a reversal of the globalization?
Polarization.
In your view? That's question number 1. Question number 2, the society, you are a historian and you believe in historical changes, you study change. That being so, at what point does a nation or a society reinvent itself or reimagine itself? Mm-hmm. Number 3, in your book you say you meditate. You meditate for 2 hours or so. Why?
Plus, thank you.
Okay, so let's try to do it quick. I tend to give long answers. Yes. I try to do it quick. Globalization, it depends what we mean by it. Some people mean narrow globalization, which is only economic, the level of trade between countries, and this is certainly going in reverse. But at a deeper level, globalization simply means the connection between different parts of the globe. War is also a form of globalization. The Second World War, for instance, was one of the high points, or the extreme points of globalization, when people from different parts of the world meet to kill each other. This is also a connection. We are very often influenced by our enemies more than by anybody else. We constantly study them. We try to do something against what they do. A very strong connection. 1,000 years ago, there was no connection at all between, say, America and China or America and Russia. So conflict is also a form of globalization. The opposite of globalization is not conflict. The opposite of globalization is ignorance, that just countries have no knowledge of each other. And we are going, I think, towards greater globalization, not necessarily economic, other types. About countries, nations reinventing themselves, it happens all the time. One of the things, again, about human traditions, every tradition was at one point a new thing. Yes. And very often when people invent a tradition, they claim it's very ancient. So you see all over the world that now countries are inventing traditions for themselves, which are completely new, but they claim to be very, very old. This is what is known often as a fundamentalist revolution. Fundament is the basis. Especially in religious sphere, people are almost never willing to admit that what they do is new. So they do something new and claim it's very old. It's a very, very common trick in religious history to do something unprecedented, never heard of, and claim it's very old. How do you do it? You say that like the previous few generations were bad, they lost some kind of very ancient tradition, and you don't create a new tradition, you discover a very old tradition that was forgotten. So this is very common. It happened throughout history. It also happens now. Our third question about meditation, I meditate basically, again, what I spoke earlier, to clean my mind. That the mind constantly produces these stories, these illusions, these fictions, and I can't understand the world because of this curtain of illusion. And meditation, for me, I know that different people meditate for different reasons, but for me, meditation is a way to lift this curtain of illusion and get in touch with reality. Because the basic question for me in meditation is what is really happening? As again, you start with the simplest exercise of observing your breath coming in and out of your nostrils. So this is really happening. It's very difficult to feel it, to focus on it. You try to feel the breath coming in and out. This is reality. And within 5 seconds, some memory comes in your mind or some fantasy comes in your mind, and you start rolling in this fantasy for 10 minutes until you finally realize, hey, I was supposed to observe my breath. So this is how I train my mind to stay in touch with reality. If I can't observe my own breath without being overwhelmed by fantasies from my mind, I will not be able to understand AI or the economic system or the global political situation without being overwhelmed by some fiction or some fantasy.
Thank you.